This is not a drill. Tony Rich just did the unthinkable. He went after Papoose in broad daylight in front of fans, cameras, and security. And the reason? None other than Claressa Shields. Witnesses say it started as a shouting match, but within seconds, it turned into an all-out brawl. Punches flying, security struggling to hold them back, and the crowd screaming like it was a boxing match instead of real life. What triggered this explosion? Sources claim Tony Rich accused Papoose of disrespecting him behind the scenes, and Claressa's name was at the center of it. Some say it was jealousy, others believe it was revenge. But one thing is certain: the tension had been building for weeks, and it finally detonated in public. Videos of the fight are already flooding social media. Clips show Papoose throwing the first shove, Tony lunging in return, and Claressa trying to hold them apart before getting pulled back by her team. The crowd, they were in shock, some screaming, some cheering, and others yelling for police to step in. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get any crazier, someone from the crowd shouted a name that flipped the whole fight. Upside down. Stay locked in, because this isn't just a fight. This is the start of a war that could expose betrayals, secret ties, and hidden truths nobody was supposed to hear to really understand why Tony Rich lunged at Papoose in public like a man possessed. We have to rewind the clock and piece together the toxic history that's been boiling beneath the surface. 'Cause this wasn't just a random fight. This was years of tension, betrayal, and jealousy exploding in the worst way possible. Let's start with Papoose. He's been a fixture in hip-hop for decades, respected for his loyalty, his marriage to Remy Ma, and his street credibility. But in recent years, Papoose has found himself dragged into messy headlines. From rumors of infidelity to whispers about him clashing with rising stars. The more he tried to keep his image polished, the more the industry kept throwing dirt. His way. Now enter Claressa Shields, the two-time Olympic gold medalist and undisputed boxing champion. Claressa's rise to superstardom hasn't just been about fighting in the ring. It's been about making waves in the hip-hop world too. It's close with rappers, hangs in the same circles, and isn't afraid to speak her mind when it comes to defending herself and her friends. But that bluntness, it's made her enemies. And then there's Tony Rich, a name that's been floating in the background for years, but recently resurfaced with drama attached. Tony's reputation has always been complicated. Once a promising figure in management circles, he's also been accused of clout chasing, stirring up conflicts, and using celebrity connections to boost his own profile. His association with Claressa has been murky at best. Some say he's just a friend, others insist it's more than that. So how do these three collide? The whispers started weeks ago. Allegedly, Tony Rich felt that Papoose had been disrespecting him in private conversations. Some claim it was over Claressa that Papoose had made dismissive remarks about Tony not being good enough to be in her circle. Others say Papoose hinted Tony was trying to use Claressa's fame to stay relevant. Whatever the exact comment was, it lit a fire inside Tony Rich and Claressa. She's been stuck in the middle, friends with Tony, respected by Papoose, but unable to stop the brewing storm. Fans noticed the tension at recent events when Papoose and Tony were spotted in the same room, refusing to acknowledge each other. One viral clip from weeks ago even showed Tony glaring at Papoose during a red carpet interview. His jaw clenched like he was holding back. But the final straw came at a private dinner in New Jersey just days before the fight. According to insiders, Papoose allegedly made a comment loud enough for people to hear. Tony ain't built for this. Hey, hanging around boxers like he won. But he not. He just riding coattails. The remark got back to Tony almost instantly. And from that moment, insiders say he vowed to confront Papoose face-to-face. Fast forward to the public event, where everything went down. Claressa was attending a charity gala. Papoose showed up as a guest, and Tony Rich. He was there too, uninvited but determined. The setup was like a ticking time bomb. The three of them under one roof, emotions high, and dozens of cameras rolling. Fans who were there said Tony was pacing like a lion, eyes locked on Papoose. The moment he walked in, Papoose, ever the calm veteran, tried to ignore him, but Tony wasn't having it. That's when the shouting started. Witnesses say Tony yelled across the crowd, "Keep my name out your mouth, Pap. You think you untouchable? Papoose!" Never wanted to back down. Allegedly snapped back. "Man, you clout chasing. Nobody even know you unless you standing next to Claressa." The crowd gasped. Claressa froze. And just like that, Tony lunged. Security tried to intervene, but fists were flying within seconds. Papoose shoved first. Tony swung wild, and the place erupted. People were screaming, phones were out recording, and Claressa was desperately trying to hold them apart before her team dragged her back. But here's the thing. This fight wasn't just about bruised egos. The way Tony shouted Claressa's name mid-brawl made it clear. This was personal. And just when everyone thought it was over, a voice from the crowd screamed a name that flipped the narrative on its head. The videos of the brawl spread across the internet like wildfire. Within minutes, clips were on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram replayed from every angle. Papoose shoving, Tony Rich swinging, Claressa screaming in shock. The chaos looked like something straight out of a reality show. Only it was raw and unfiltered. But the moment that stole everyone's breath wasn't the punches. It was the voice from the crowd in the middle of the chaos, as security tried to hold Papoose back and Tony swung wildly. Someone in the crowd screamed a name that flipped the fight into an entirely different narrative. Remy, the crowd gasped. Phones shook. And just like that, the chaos became a full-blown scandal. Because in 1 second, fans went from thinking this was about Claressa Shields to wondering if it was really about Remy Ma. The internet went ballistic. Reddit threads exploded with speculation. Was Tony Rich's beef with Papoose really fueled by Claressa? Or was Claressa just the smokescreen, and this was actually about Remy Ma, Papoose's wife, who had already been tied to messy rumors about loyalty and betrayal in the past? Twitter lit up. Why would someone yell Remy's name if she wasn't involved? This fight wasn't about Claressa at all. It's trying to distract us. Tony exposing Remy, that's why Pap lost it. The fight instantly turned from a heated confrontation to a scandal that could potentially drag in Remy Ma, and everyone knew it. And then came the first leaked angle of the fight. One fan video, shot from the balcony, caught audio that other clips missed. As Tony Rich lunged at Papoose, he screamed, "You disrespected me and her. Don't play games, Pap, her." But who was her? Claressa, like everyone first thought. Or Remy Ma, whose name the crowd shouted moments later. That tiny word turned the entire scandal upside down. Claressa quickly tried to shut down the chatter. Hours after the fight, she went live from her hotel room, visibly frustrated. "Don't bring me no mess. I came to support and y'all acting like I started this. I'm focused on my fights, not on y'all's drama. Stop dragging me into something I didn't ask for." But her denial only fanned the flames. Fans dissected her tone, her body language, the way she avoided mentioning Tony Rich directly. Some believed she was protecting him. Others thought she was distancing herself to save her career. Meanwhile, Remy Ma, silent. Dead silent. Not a word on socials. And that silence made the speculation 10 times worse. By morning, new footage dropped. This time, from someone closer to the front row. The clip showed Papoose shoving Tony while yelling, "Don't ever bring her name up again. Ever." Fans froze. If Pap was telling Tony to stop bringing her name up, then that meant the fight wasn't about Claressa after all. It was about someone else. And the internet only had one conclusion. Remy. Suddenly the fight was no longer a random brawl. It was being framed as a public explosion over alleged betrayal, loyalty, possibly even infidelity. And then came the first celebrity reaction. Fat Joe, a longtime ally of Remy and Papoose, posted on Instagram stories. "Family, Business shouldn't be played out in the streets. Too much history here. Y'all need to chill before this gets uglier. Meanwhile, social media couldn't stop speculating. TikTok detectives made side-by-side timelines of Claressa's appearances, Tony's moves, and Papoose's cryptic lyrics in recent freestyles. One viral theory claimed Papoose dropped subliminals about someone trying to take my queen's shine. Weeks before the fight, fans began asking, was this fight the breaking point of a much longer, hidden feud? And then came the final, jaw-dropping twist of the night. A blogger dropped exclusive audio allegedly recorded just minutes before the fight. In the clip, Tony Rich can be heard muttering to someone off camera. He'd been disrespecting me for too long. I'm not scared of him. Not scared of his wife either. Tonight, everybody gone, see the truth. Not scared of his wife either. The internet imploded. If the audio was legit, Tony was clearly dragging Remy Ma into the mess, whether she wanted to be there or not. By the end of the night, what started as a chaotic brawl in a crowded venue had morphed into one of the biggest scandals of the year. Was Tony Rich defending Claressa's honor? Was he exposing Remy Ma's name in public? Or was this all a ploy to humiliate Papoose and gain clout at the expense of two powerful women? Nobody knew. But the one thing everyone agreed on was this: the story was far from over. The morning after the brawl, the internet was unrecognizable. Every blog, every gossip page, every news outlet had the same story. Tony Rich versus Papoose, Claressa caught in the middle, and Remy Ma's name echoing in the background like a ticking bomb. Clips of the fight had racked up millions of views overnight. One TikTok edit with slow-motion punches and dramatic music crossed 20 million in less than 12 hours. Twitter was flooded with theories, some saying Tony attacked Papoose over Claressa. Others convinced it was really about Remy Ma. And then the first celebrity reactions poured in. The celebrity Stormfat Joe doubled down, posting a cryptic IG story with a single line: too much history, too many secrets. Y'all better stop. That one sentence set the internet on fire. Fans immediately speculated Fat Joe was confirming there were secrets behind the fight memo. A longtime friend of Papoose went live saying, Tony made a mistake. Pap don't play about his family. It's one of the last real ones left. And you've gone find out the hard way. Meanwhile, Claressa's peers in boxing chimed in. Amanda Serrano tweeted, Claressa doesn't deserve this. She's a champ in the ring and out. Keep her name out of y'all mess. But the most shocking reaction came from Remy Ma's rumored frenemy, Radega. She tweeted and deleted, I told y'all years ago, things ain't always what they seem. The deletion only made it worse. Screenshots spread instantly, with fans screaming, what did she mean by that? The Claressa Statent Laressa tried to regain control. In a press interview for her upcoming fight, she looked furious when asked about the brawl. I don't know why my name's being dragged in this. I came to do good, and they made it about drama. Tony made his choices. Papoose reacted, but me. I'm focused on boxing, not gossip. She stormed off before finishing the press junket, but fans weren't buying it. The fact that she refused to condemn Tony Rich directly only added fuel. Was she protecting him? Did she know more than she was letting on? The shocking leaks by evening. New leaks surfaced. A blog post in alleged DMs between Tony Rich and an unnamed associate. One line stood out. He embarrassed me in front of her once. I waited for my moment. Fans zoomed in. Her. The same mysterious her from earlier. Again, speculation swirled. Was Tony really referring to Claressa? Or was he talking about Remy? Then came the wildest leak yet, an alleged voicemail, sent to Claressa's phone the night of the fight. The audio shared by a gossip account was grainy but intense. A man's voice, believed to be Tony, said, he ain't the only one with secrets. Next time he calls me a clout chaser, I'm telling everybody what his wife been up to. Double quotes, boom, fans froze. If legit, Tony had threatened to expose Remy Ma before the fight even happened. This wasn't just about respect. It was blackmail boiling over. The industry reaction within hours. Hip-hop insiders started whispering to blogs. One anonymous source told Hollywood Unlocked, "This wasn't about Claressa at all. She's the decoy. Tony and Pap been at odds for months over things that had nothing to do with her. It's deeper, way deeper." Another source told The Shade, "Room, that fight y'all saw? That's the tip of the iceberg. There's texts, there's calls, there's receipts that would blow your mind." And suddenly, fans weren't just watching a fight. They were watching a cover-up unfold in real time. The Remy silence, meanwhile, Remy Ma stayed dead silent. Not a post, not a tweet. Not even a prayers up for peace. Her silence became the loudest part of the story. One viral tweet read, "Remy ain't saying nothing because she knows if she talks, it all comes out." Another, "If this wasn't about her, she would have shut it down by now. Silence equals guilt." Memes flooded the timeline. A photo of Remy looking at her phone with a caption, "Watching the world burn, but can't say nothing." The twist that broke the internet just when fans thought they'd seen it all. A new fan video leaked, shot from a different angle. This one showed Tony Rich being dragged back by security. As they pulled him away, he screamed at Papoose, "Tell her the truth, Pap. Tell her what you did." The crowd erupted. People gasped. Claressa looked horrified. "Tell who? Tell Remy. Tell Claressa or someone else entirely." The clip racked up 15 million views in hours, with fans dissecting every word. Every syllable. One theory claimed Tony was hinting at infidelity, that Papoose wasn't as loyal as he portrayed. Another theory said Tony knew about shady industry, deals Pap had been tied to. Either way, it meant the brawl wasn't just about insults. It was about secrets waiting to detonate. The cliffhanger by nightfall. Tony Rich himself doubled down, posting a cryptic IG story. "Y'all think I'm the villain, but when the truth comes out, he won't be the hero no more." And then he deleted it. The internet froze. Now fans aren't just waiting for more fight footage, they're waiting for Tony's next move. Is he bluffing, or is he holding on to new receipts that could end Papoose's marriage, career, and reputation in one swoop? And where does Claressa fit in? Is she a pawn in this feud, or does she know more than she's admitting? One thing's clear, this wasn't just a fight. It was the opening shot in a war. The brawl may have lasted only a few chaotic minutes, but the fallout was endless. Within 24 hours, social media was at war. Fans, celebrities, blogs, and even journalists were weighing in, and the divisions were sharper than ever. Fans split in two on Twitter. The debate got vicious. Team Papoose versus Team Tony Rich threads went viral. One fan wrote, "Tony Rich came out of nowhere. He's just clout chasing off Pap's name. End of story." Another fired back, "Pap been hiding something. Tony wouldn't risk everything. Unless he had dirt, y'all blind." On TikTok, edits of the fight gained tens of millions of views. Some slowed down the audio to analyze Tony's shout, "Tell her the truth." Others zoomed in on Claressa's horrified reaction, speculating whether she already knew what was being hidden. Reddit, even darker. One thread claimed Tony's anger wasn't about Claressa or Remy, but another woman entirely, someone close. To both men, the theory gained traction fast. Celebrities enter the ring. The first big reaction came from rapper Jim Jones, who posted a laughing emoji under a gossip blog's video of the fight. He quickly deleted it, but fans screenshotted it instantly, interpreting it as shade toward Papoose. Then Meek Mill tweeted cryptically, "Real men don't swing over lies, lest they scared the truth gone come out." The timeline exploded. Was Meek siding with Tony Rich? Meanwhile, Remy Ma's Terror Squad family tried to hold the line. That Joe went live again, his face stern. "Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Pap, solid. That's family. Stop spreading lies before somebody gets hurt." But the fact that he didn't mention Tony Rich directly only added fuel, and then came Claressa Shields herself, posting a fiery Instagram story, "Keep my name out your mouths. No prop in this drama. Y'all messy." But fans weren't, letting her off the hook. One comment summed it up, "Sis, you can scream all you want, but if you weren't in the middle, none of this would have happened." Industry fallout behind the scenes. Industry insiders whispered to gossip blogs that Papoose was furious with how the fight went public. One claimed he felt betrayed that Claressa didn't distance herself fast enough. Another said Tony Rich wasn't acting alone, that someone bigger was pushing him to expose Papoose in public suddenly. Conspiracy theories spread. Was Tony being used as a pawn? And if so, by who? Even worse, rumors swirled that Remy Ma had been contacted by producers from Love and Hip Hop, hoping to turn the drama into a new storyline. Some fans mocked her, saying, "Pap fighting in public, Tony leaking secrets, and Remy about to cash a VH1 check off it." The public meltdown down the shade rooms. Instagram post of the fight gained over 300,000 comments in less than a day. Scrolling through felt like walking into a war zone. Half the commenters dragged Tony Rich as a clout demon, the other half accused Papoose of finally being exposed. One viral comment read, "If Tony really got receipts, Pap's whole marriage finna crumble. Watch." Another said, "This is embarrassing." Remy built her comeback, and now Pap dragging her through the mud. Even blogs outside hip-hop picked it up. Daily Mail ran the headline, "Hip-Hop Love Triangle. Brawl between rapper Papoose and music executive Tony Rich shocks fans." Alliances and shade. Perhaps the most shocking reaction came from an unlikely source, Jaguar Wright. She went live, grinning ear to ear, saying, "I told y'all these industry marriages ain't what they look like. Pap ain't the saint y'all think he is. And Tony Rich, he just opened the first crack. Watch the whole wall fall." That statement alone reignited the rumors about Papoose and Remy's marriage being for image. Fans started speculating that Tony's outburst might force truths into the open that had been buried for years. The cliffhanger of reactions, and then Tony Rich himself returned to social media. Instead of an apology, he posted a blurry photo of himself at the gym, bruised knuckles visible. The caption, "Y'all call it clout, I call it courage. More to come." Fans froze. More to come. Was he about to drop receipts, release texts, go on a podcast and spill everything? Within minutes, rumors spread that Tony had already booked an interview with a major YouTube platform, the same one that previously hosted other explosive industry exposes. The internet braced. Self. Now, the question isn't just about the fight. It's about the fallout. Will Tony really expose Papoose's alleged secrets? Will Remy Ma finally break her silence? And will Claressa Shields escape this storm or get dragged even deeper into the fire? The fight may have been broken up, but the real war was just beginning. By the weekend, Tony Rich had turned himself from a background figure into the most talked about man in hip-hop. And instead of backing down, he doubled down. At first, it seemed like he was laying low. No interviews, no live streams, just that single cryptic IG story about courage. But then, without warning, a clip surfaced from a podcast taping. Tony Rich sat in a dark studio, hoodie pulled low, bruises still fresh on his jaw. And what he said sent shockwaves through the industry. Everybody think Pap this loyal stand-up husband, but I know what he's been doing behind the scenes. He ain't clean, and Remy knows it. That's why he tried to shut me up. Double quotes, boom, the audience gasped. Twitter imploded. Tony saying Papoose wasn't just defending Claressa or his marriage, but trying to bury secrets that could destroy his loyal husband image forever. The receipts dropped hours later. Screenshots began circulating. Alleged text messages between Papoose and a mystery woman. The messages were blurry, watermarked, but the tone was damning. One line read, "I can't meet this week. Too risky. They already watching me. Okay, another? I love her. But what we got is different. Fans froze. Who was the her? Remy Ma or Claressa? The screenshots weren't verified, but that didn't matter. They spread across TikTok and Twitter like wildfire, with fans stitching dramatic readings of the texts, some even acting out. Skits. Within hours, #PapTexts was trending worldwide. The industry reacts. Rema's silence was deafening. No posts, no denials. Just dead air. And the longer she stayed quiet, the more fans speculated that she was hiding something. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields went live again, furious, snapping at commenters who accused her of being at the center of the mess. Y'all dumb if you think. I want to deny part of this. I don't sleep with rappers. I knock people out. That's it. But her anger only convinced skeptics she was deflecting. Even industry peers were split 50. Scent posted a meme of Papoose with the caption, "Mr. Loyalty looking shaky baby." Fat Joe came back swinging, saying, "Stop playing with my brothers. Name, Tony, looking for fame. That's all." And shockingly, Jaguar Wright popped up AGAIN, saying, "Those texts. I told y'all years ago Pap wasn't clean. Y'all just didn't want to believe me." So the battle lines were drawn, the cliffhanger explosion just when it felt like the internet couldn't handle more. Tony Rich posted one last bombshell to his Instagram, a blurry photo of a woman's hand holding what looked like Papoose's signature chain. The caption, "Guess who was wearing it last night?" The comments section went nuclear. Fans screamed. Was this proof Papoose was cheating? Was the hand Remy's Claressa's, or someone entirely new? Before anyone could figure it out, Tony deleted the post. But not before thousands of screenshots circulated. The blogs pounced immediately. Hollywood, Unlocked screamed. Tony Rich teases proof of Papoose affair. Deleted post sparks frenzy. The Shade Room posted the chain photo with the caption, "Whose hand is this?" Fans speculate after Tony Rich deletes cryptic post. Twitter went berserk with theories. That's not Remy's hand. Nails don't match. Claressa got the same ring. Go compare. Nah, Pap Wilden, he done gave his chain to a side chick. The internet was in meltdown, and then the final dagger. Tony Rich went live, smirking, his voice calm. Pap swung at me 'cause he's scared. He know if I drop the real footage, it's over. Y'all want the truth? Stay tuned. Real footage. The words echoed like a gunshot. Fans lost their minds. Did Tony Rich have video proof of Papoose caught up in betrayal? Was this why the fight broke out, Pap trying to silence him before he leaked it? The cliffhanger was set. Now the world isn't just asking about a fight. They're asking who was the woman in the texts? Whose hand was holding Papoose's chain? And what is this real footage Tony Rich claims to have? If he drops it, this won't just ruin reputations, it could shatter marriages, friendships, and an entire image Papoose built for decades. And with Remy Ma's silence, Claressa's denial, and Tony's cryptic hints, the truth feels closer than ever. But for now, the world waits. Because when that footage drops, everything changes. And now we're left with a question nobody can escape. What is the truth? Tony Rich claims he has footage that will end everything, proof so explosive that Papoose swung at him in public just to stop it from coming out. We've seen the fight, the texts, the chain photo, the cryptic posts. But what happens if Tony actually drops the receipts? Will Papoose's loyal husband image be shattered forever? Will Remy Ma finally speak and defend herself? Or is her silence already an answer? And what about Claressa Shields? Is she truly innocent, or is she caught in something deeper than she's admitting? The world is split right down the middle. Some believe Tony Rich is clout chasing, milking this fight for attention. Others believe he's holding nuclear-level proof that could collapse one of hip-hop's most iconic couples. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Tony Rich really has the footage, or is he bluffing? Was this fight really about Claressa, or was Remy Ma the real trigger? And if Tony exposes Papoose, whose career, reputation, and family survives, drop your hottest theories in the comments right now. We want every wild angle, every clue, every breakdown. Nothing is too far-fetched. And don't forget, hit that like button if this story shook you. And subscribe with notifications on because part 2 is coming, and trust me, when that footage drops, you'll want to be here first. This isn't over. Not even close. Because in hip-hop, fists heal fast. But secrets? Secrets don't stay buried forever. Stay tuned. The next chapter will be even darker, even darker.